Hey there, this is Napier here, and in this video I'll talk about how you can get better open rates for the emails that you send out via Mailvio. So there are some suggestions that are broken into content, subscribers, and technicals, and we'll talk about all three of those in this video. Let's start with the content of your emails. When you're sending an email, having a curiosity-driven headline or something controversial really helps. So for example, if you wanted to do us versus them, so you could say, this is the truth that they won't tell you. That's both curiosity driven and controversial. Or something along the lines of, this is something you must see. Now, of course, it's a little bit vague, it's a little bit blind, but that does get you higher open rates. I wouldn't recommend doing this every time, because if you keep using blind subject lines every single time, then your audience will stop opening your emails because they'll just feel that it's a clickbait. So we're talking about clickbaity headlines, but we do them ever so often, not all the time. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is experiment and split test. Most people who write and send emails regularly have a pattern, a template that they usually work with. Now that's a good thing, but it is also recommended to experiment with your headlines, to try something completely different that maybe caught your attention in your email inbox. And you can always use split testing within Mailvio to see which headline gets better opens and also better clicks. Number 3, write good content. Now, of course, that's a given. You want to write good content, but you'd be surprised how often I come across emails that are just really shallow, really superficial in the messaging. You can only get people to open so often till they realize that the content actually is terrible. So if you can write good content, people will be more likely to come back and open your emails. Number 4, try and use a short subject line for mobile. Now, most people are used to writing long email subject lines, but these days, when you're using smartphones, there's limited space that Gmail and other email service providers provide. It usually helps to have a short subject line in that case, ideally under 50 characters. Number 5, use name personalization. Now again, use this sparingly, but if you are able to insert a person's name, if you have that on record in the subject line, it usually gets a higher open rate. That's all the content fixes that you can do to get better open rates for your emails. But let's talk about subscribers themselves. So quite often people get low open rates because they are not sending email to the right subscribers. And here's how you can change that. Number 1, segment. So within Mailvio, it is possible for you to send out an email and segment people based on whether they open or click that email. You can assign them tags. You can use attribute feature to assign these people tags. And if you use that, you will be able to in future target them accordingly. That way, you're not sending them the wrong kind of email. Number 2, mail actives only. So in our business, quite often we end up mailing people that have been opening our emails for the last 45 days. Because usually beyond 45 or 60 days, people that don't open your emails are not very likely to be active, which means that your open rate will be low, and if your open rate is low, your sender score will be low as well, because of which in the future, even with great leads, you won't get a good open rate. So mail actives. Once in a while you can mail inactives, just with a re-engagement sequence, but where possible, only mail actives. Then don't buy leads. Now this is really important. A lot of people make the mistake of buying 50,000, 100,000, a million leads and trying to upload them in the system and mailing them. Don't do that. If someone is not expecting to hear from you, if you mail them, then you will end up spamming. And that's really bad for you. That's bad for everyone. And of course, when you spam, your open rate is really low. Now, when I'm talking about open rate, you're probably thinking, Neil, what's a good open rate? The industry standard in 2019, the average was about 22.1%. Now this was lower than the year before. And if you're thinking, Neil, I'm not getting anywhere near 22% open rates, you definitely need to change how you run your business. For example, in our business, we get anywhere between 15 to 19% open rates. Now, while this is not ideal, it still gives us pretty good numbers that we can run with every single month. So let's go back to getting better email open rates. The last thing I need you to focus on is the technical side of things. Number 1, send an email at the right time. So Mailvio has a feature where you can choose to send an email at the best time. Use that and make sure that you're able to send an email at a time where a subscriber is more likely to open it and take action. Next, set up SPF and DKIM. Now this is a little bit technical, and for this I want you to reach out to us at support.mailvio.com. Our team will help you set up your SPF and DKIM records so that you inbox better. This is in essence white labeling your email address so that your customers, when they see an email, they don't see it coming from us, but they see it coming from you, which will immediately get you even as much as 100% higher open rates. Then number 3, try a different from name. Now be careful how you use it, but once in a while, especially if you're mailing inactives, it doesn't hurt to change up your from name. Maybe change your from name to the product that they purchased, or the opt-in gift that they purchased or bought. It's good to try out different things, again part of experimentation, and again I would only use it sparingly. And the last thing, test your email via Mail Tester. So go to mail-tester.com, and using this service you can test the quality of your emails before you send those out. This is really useful if you want to be sure that your emails are not going to land in the spam box. You should be aiming for a score at 9.5 or 10 out of 10. If you're not, and if you need our help, just reach out to us at support.mailvio.com and we'd be happy to help you out.